Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. This is episode number 134 of For the Fan. As always, I am Will. We got Colton, Jake, and Dom here. Gentlemen, hello.
What's up?
You still suck.
Oh my god. I don't know why I suck, but sure. Okay, let's just continue that.
Look at the doc when we get to it. There's a reason you suck.
Nah, I'm logical here.
There's going to be a lot of fingers pointing in a lot of directions, I feel like.
We're not talking about this. We're talking about this. Okay, get that one SpongeBob reference out of the way. Follow us on all the social media pages down below: YouTube For the Fan Network, TikTok For the Fan Network, Twitter and/or X, however you want to call it today, For the Fan _, and Instagram For the Fan Football. So the last 7 weeks, we went through all 32 teams to get to this very point. Just north of 27 hours until kickoff as the time of this recording of week 1 of the regular season. So, fantasy football drafts, college football's back. So many things have just been going on. And yeah, it's a crazy time, exciting time for a lot of us too. So, I mean, why should I keep on talking? I mean, gentlemen, do you just want to jump right in?
Yes, sir.
All righty. You are listening to For the Fan.
You are listening to For the Fan.
And here we go. Our world-renowned fantasy prediction show. How wrong could we be? How right can we not be? That is the question. That's always the question every single year, and I'm always excited for it. Yeah. So, we're going to start it out differently than how I have it listed in the doc, because I think it'll kind of make a little more logical sense how we go through it. So, we are going to reveal our playoff predictions, so our 4 division winners and the 3 wildcard teams, our awards, so MVP, offensive, defensive player, rookie, defensive rookie, coach of the year, comeback player of the year, maybe a bull take or 2, predictions, then season week number 1 picks. So 16 of the first 272 games we'll be talking, deciding, the whole shebang, the whole 10 yards, all that stuff. So, without further ado, we have the privilege of having EA Sports Madden NFL 25, which is actually coincidental because this is the second time this game has come out. If you remember 11 or 12 years ago, that game came out, and that's how the Xbox One generation of sports game ends. Starts with Madden 25 and ends with Madden 25. And how realistic are they? I mean, it's the best sports game on the market. No one can honestly beat it than this. So, we're going to open this bad boy right up, this bad John. And this is what they have as their playoff picks. The Ravens and the Cowboys are both your 1 seeds, followed by the Vikings at 2, the Panthers at 3, the Niners at 4 to round out your NFC division winners, and then the Falcons, the Packers, the Bears. On the AFC side, as I said, the Ravens are 1, Chiefs 2, Texans 3, Dolphins 4. Then the Raiders, the Jets, and the Bengals round out your wild card teams. I mean, gentlemen, this is, I don't know. This is has to be true if they put it in here, right? It has to be.
It is insanely egregious that the Panthers, the Vikings win their division over the Bears, the Packers, and the Lions. And then the Panthers win their division is just insane because I mean, their record has to be like 6 wins to win that division. The AFC side's not as bad. I mean, you got the Raiders, but Panthers and Vikings is just nuts, bro. That's crazy. Jared Goff had to get injured.
I would be more surprised about the Panthers making it in over the Vikings. Because, I mean, I know we didn't talk very highly on them. It was more like, oh, hey, let's see what we can do, kind of get it going and all that stuff. And just...
But the Vikings finishing second, Panthers finishing third over the Niners entirely is crazy.
And they have every team in that division besides the Lions.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Jared Goff had to get hurt. Something had to happen in the simulation.
I didn't break down the stats at all. I usually do that. I did this and I was working on some other stuff, so I just didn't fully deep dive and figure it out. But
Yeah, that's
I
perfectly.
saw this and I'm like, you know what? I do not need to deep dive through it because my head will just hurt too much to figure it out as to why. Alrighty, now that we got that over, we're going to talk about our season prediction picks. We're going to be talking about them. And the man who drew unlucky number 1 is Colton. Colton, I have both your AFC and NFC predictions here. So I will pull this bad boy up to you and I will let you decide and talk about it. Again, these are not how they predicted the playoff order to be. It's just the 4 division winners followed by the 3 wildcard teams. So try to divide it up as best as I could. So Colton, here you go.
Oh, thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate that. So, yeah, for me, I think it's pretty simple. I think Buffalo lost too much this season, especially on the offensive side of the ball. They're going to ask a lot of guys that we don't know what they're going to do. I mean, we know what Shakir did last year. They drafted Keon Coleman early in the draft. I just think it's a lot to ask for those guys to step up. They bring in Valdez-Scantling from Kansas City. I just don't love what Buffalo's done. I do love Dalton Kincaid, but I think they take a step back, which is why I have the Miami Dolphins as the division winners. I know they lost a lot defensively, but I actually thought they did a pretty good job fixing some of that and replacing some of that with the losses of Christian Wilkins, bringing in some pieces. Then they draft Chop Robinson out of Penn State. So I think they did it really well. So, I think Miami wins that division. I think the Bengals finally get it done, win the North. I think they take it back after a few years hiatus there. I just think Joe Burrow's healthy. This is kind of like their last rodeo here. Jamar Chase clearly has some issues with his contract. Finally showed up to practice today, looking to practice. So they got to sign him. T. Higgins is gone after this year, most likely, because they're not going to pay both these dudes. So I think it's their year. I think it's the Bengals' year to kind of go all in on this season. And I know Trey Hendrickson's another one that wants a new contract or get me out of town. So they're running out of guys to have to get paid. So this is kind of the last hoorah, kind of similar when we get to the NFC as far as the Niners. That's why I have the Bengals winning the North. And the Chiefs, I mean, they're the Chiefs. The West isn't great this year. We went over it. And I think Houston's probably the scariest team in the AFC. With the additions they made, and especially if C.J. Stroud has a year, to improve off the rookie year, which would be insane to do. But if he does, I mean, goodness me, this is kind of hard to beat the Texans, especially the way the South is. So that is my AFC. And I think Pittsburgh, you got Russ. You bring Russell Wilson in there. I think he's a clear upgrade over Kenny Pickett. He had 13 touchdown passes from Mason Rudolph and Kenny Pickett last season. I think Russ clears a big upgrade as far as that. So I think Tomlin, and you bring in Patrick Queen from Baltimore, which is a big hole the Steelers have been missing. I think the Steelers make the playoffs. Again, you can say it's the homer pick. That's fine. They made it last year with Kenny Pickett and Mason Rudolph. I think they have a clear upgrade at quarterback. We're rusty through 26 last year. So I think the Steelers get it. Well, NFC.
All righty. To Colton's NFC picks. Bam.
Yeah, I think it's a surprising few teams here possibly for some people. And that would be the Chicago Bears, or my kind of dark horse team throughout this NFC playoffs. I think they finally set up their quarterback for success in Chicago. I mean, you bring in Keenan Allen from L.A. for pennies on the dime. You draft Roma Dunze there in the first round, which was a surprise pick there from Washington. And then, again, Detroit. Detroit's hard not to pick. I love Green Bay. I love what Jordan Love's doing. So a surprise, you have 3 teams out of the NFC North. I think Dallas gets in, but I don't love Dallas and Atlanta. The NFC South stinks, and they've brought in Judon. They bring in Simmons on a free agent pickup. So, and then you bring in Kirk Cousins. So you actually can finally possibly see what Kyle Pitts can do and what Drake London can do, drafting those 2 high. And then clearly, like I mentioned with the Cincinnati Bengals, I think the San Francisco 49ers are all in. You had the Dick Tease, excuse my French. I don't even care because my team was the team getting involved with the Dick Tease with Brandon Ayuk. You knew they were going to have to sign him. It's kind of their all-in season. I mean, you got Nick Bosa, you got Brock Purdy that has to get paid around the corner, and Lord knows what he's getting as Mr. Irrelevant. He's going to want to get his paycheck. So I think it's kind of very similar to the Cincinnati Bengals and the AFC. I think the Niners are all in on this season. So we'll see what they end up doing. And I think Philly wins the division. I don't love what Dallas has done. I just think Dallas has enough to make the wild card because the NFC's But I wouldn't be surprised, folks. Washington Commanders, my other sleepy sleeper team. And that's weird. It's two rookie quarterbacks that I'm in love with, but I think Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams are everything we've dreamed of as quarterbacks coming out of the draft, since it's been a few years since we've had a really good class outside of CJ Stroud last season. But this is what I'm expecting in the NFC.
Colton, I got to ask, how much did it pain you to pencil in the Falcons as the division winner there and have to talk about them for at least 30 seconds here?
Yeah, it's not as painful because, like, last year we talked about them and, like, they sucked. This year they add in Kirk Cousins. Like, we all said it last year. They can add a quarterback in, like, this team's scary. Now you add in Kirk Cousins. You have Michael Penix Jr. if, God forbid, Kirk goes down. Like, they have something there at quarterback finally. So that's why, like, I have to talk about the Falcons, and sadly I have to talk about them because they're playing my team week 1. But, yes, I think the South sucks. And
I was going to say, how does it feel to join the dark side?
Damn. Would you rather 30 minutes of Falcon talk or having to watch that week 1 game against the Falcons for 3 hours? That's a lose-lose situation for you.
Yeah, I'm excited football's back, man. So I'd rather have pour bleach my eyeballs and watch the Steelers for 3 hours.
Colton, to give you some credit and maybe to back you up a little bit, I believe it is you specifically that initiated the talks on this show about Kirk Cousins should go to the Falcons at the trade deadline. Was it you? I know you were a big advocate of it too.
I would say I was big on they had to trade him to either the Falcons or Jets.
Yeah. I mean, I was on the Jets train with it because the Jets don't have a lot of time here with this whole thing. So that's why I said the Jets. But I mean, either way, the Falcons needed a quarterback. So if the Jets weren't traded for him at the deadline, it made all the sense at the Falcons. Yeah. So I will not take the credit. I was on the Jets wagon because the Jets were still in a really good spot to win. And again, Kirk Cousins' contract was up at the end of the season. So.
All right. So no more words for you, Colton. Shall I move on?
No, I just, like I said, I think it's going to be an exciting season. We finally have, the Bears should actually be very, very good. I'm curious to see where the rest of you guys are. That's why I'm glad I did my picks early in our doc to get it done. So I'm like, all right, let me get it done early. So I'm kind of surprised. Yes. Whoa, cornflakes. Whoa, that's a low blow, dude. Jeez Louise. Wow. These are shots fired. What are we doing? I wish I knew who this was. You guys know who this is?
It's Josh.
Oh, this is Josh? Oh, come under your real name, you clown. God almighty.
Yeah, you don't see him on the cereal box? Bald New Taste? Come on, you don't see that on there?
No. Oh, is that him? Oh, my gosh. That guy stinks. Oh, God. But, yeah, all right. Well, just to finish up, because I don't want to talk 20 minutes. We got to get to you guys and a bunch of other stuff. I'm just really excited for the quarterbacks this year, to be honest. I'm really high on Jaden Daniels. And I not that I'm high on Caleb Williams, just he's got so much around him not to fail. They set up Fields for failure. I think they learned. I think Ryan Poles said, yeah, we're not doing this again. And they figured out how to build something around their quarterback. And they're ready to rumble. I think they can compete and be a sleeper team here.
Someone let them know we can't hear?
Is this?
You guys have me?
Or is it just us?
I hear you.
Is it just us?
I hear you guys.
You heard me, right? Well,
I hear you. Yeah, I hear you. Uh-oh, something's going on with Dom.
Oh, they got falconed. That's amazing.
Yeah, they got falconed here. Dom's panicking. I see the fear in his eyes. He is he's like, shit, what do I do?
They are panicking.
I just jump ship.
If you can hear us, it's dead silent for us right now. I have some technical issues here.
You might want to start with you then.
Figure out, I guess.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to skip to me, and then I could circle back over to them. Hold on, I'll drop them in a private chat.
Yeah.
Dom,
okay, I get it now.
Yeah. Then maybe it'll work. I don't know. Uh-oh. Yep, this is live. Oh, hello. Yeah, heard myself. Oh, Dom's twice. Oh, no, it's Jake.
Oh, gosh.
At least I can hear you now.
Well, Jake,
what is happening right now?
Just restart Chrome.
Just back out and come back in.
Yeah, just restart Chrome. I'll keep it under control.
You can still hear probably right now.
Yeah, I can still. So, can you guys hear us?
I can hear you.
Oh, hey, there's Dom. He's zoomed the frick in right now. Oh my god.
Well, I don't know what's happening.
We have so many viewers right now, and we just have
No, continue. You're good. You're good. You're good. You're good.
You're good.
Keep
I
going.
was going to wait for Jake to get back on
Just
because I have
drop
Jake
out and
next.
reconnect. Say, just drop out and reconnect, and and by the time you're coming back in, we'll have Will's predictions down here.
Yeah, here I'll get my picks done here. How about that? So I'm gonna go to my picks, and we'll circle back over to Jake and finish off with Dom here. My picks for the AFC go as follows. I have the Bengals. I did a last second readjustment there because I was like, man, I really want the Bengals in there, so I picked the Bengals. Jets because I am entitled to a homer pick, so obviously the Jets. How good their rosters become, make it really good. Defensive line, offensive line, Mike Williams addition. I really liked what they did with the draft. Yak King, Malachi Corley. The Texans with Stroud and all the other company down there. It was only going to make logical sense there. Then the Chiefs because, well, the Chiefs have an offense, and I think Mahomes is going to be in for a big year this year. Wild card, the Dolphins because no one's going to be able to keep up with the track meet. I think they could get off pretty early. The Chargers, Mr. Harbaugh, never had a season under 500. I think he brings the Chargers back to the playoffs. And I was going to have the song queued up. This is our Colts. This is our team. I didn't have enough time to get it, download it and have it to play. But I wanted a surprise here. And I say the Colts are the surprise pick as a 7th seed in the AFC playoff race. Yes, I don't have any Ravens. I don't like that the Ravens really lost a lot on the offensive line. Lamar looked really good behind Morgan Moses and Simpson and Zeitler. All 3 of them leave, so 3 new pieces get added to the offensive line. The loss of Odell Beckham, which isn't really much, but Zay Flowers, wide receiver 1, not really too sure where he could be as the wide receiver 1. And then the defense, Patrick Queen goes to Pittsburgh, so the 2-headed monster at linebacker is kind of over, so that was kind of my thoughts there. I don't know if anyone wants to debate or challenge what I said, but
yeah, I mean, I was gonna let you finish first, but since you opened the door, I know Josh is trying to flame me on here to go on for the Steelers hate. I'm not gonna do it. Again, just like your homer pick, what you're drunk on with the Jets winning the division, the Chargers in. I find that very interesting. Do you not see who Justin Herbert's throwing the ball to?
Lad McConkey.
Okay. Who else?
Season. Will Dissly.
Oh, my God. Okay. The fact that you pulled Will Dissly as your second pull. That's
DJ Chark.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Brendan Rice. Yeah, he's going to be just like his father. So.
Okay. So, all right. Thank you. That's all I needed from you, Will. Thank you.
J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards, the Gus Plus.
Again, the fact that you mentioned J.K. Dobbins that we haven't seen in 2 years. Okay.
I really wanted him in fantasy last year, but I missed out on him.
The Ravens one is the most egregious to me. That's crazy to me to just have the Ravens just miss just entirely.
It's so funny because we know it's coming next. They don't.
Lamar to win MVP and then just come out and just miss playoffs and have
what he has.
What?
Does he have Lamar?
No, last year's MVP was.
Oh, okay. All right. You were confusing me.
That'd be way more nuts.
It's believable because it's the most Will thing possible.
No, but Lamar to win MVP last year and then just come out and just miss would be crazy to me.
Are we shocked?
Listen, I already mentioned
the offensive line. How the NFC looks he might actually have Minnesota in the playoffs in this next one, or the Giants. He might surprise us all.
Panthers.
Oh yeah. Actually, the Cardinals has the 1 seed. You guys aren't prepared.
Go for it. Just go for it.
Alrighty. So for my picks, I had to go off the walls here. I went Lions because obviously I think the Lions are going to make it regardless. I think the NFC East is going to be the worst division of football this year. I think it's going to be an 8-9 or a 9-8 season. I don't really have a lot of faith with the Cowboys right now. I want to see what happens with Mike Zimmer as defensive coordinator. If Dan Quinn was there, I mean, hey, Cowboys would be in. I still don't I don't know if there's still disconnect going on between Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni. I don't know if Jalen Hurts could be the guy to step up and proclaim the leadership that the Eagles have really lost. So at 9-8, I'm going to have the Commanders there, followed by the Falcons. Kirko, dripping chains. He's going to be walking out into the playoffs in January with 10,000 pounds of chains on him, followed by the Niners because, well, that one last hoorah. And then we got the Packers. I am really excited for this Packers defense this year. They looked really good in the preseason. I think they can only do better things. I think the Packers are going to be really excited for what's to come on their defense. And then the Bears, who literally had one of the best defenses to close out the year last year, I think their defense is going to be helping them along the way. I don't think Caleb's going to struggle, but I think their defense is going to be the reason why they stay in a lot of games really late this year. And then the Rams, I think Puka hopefully stays healthy. I mean, he's been dealing with a knee problem. Cooper Kupp, I hope he's healthy for the entire year. Really hope that Kyron Williams can finish the season this year, despite him now being the number one punt returner on the Rams, which still cannot wrap my head around. But, yeah, these are my picks.
I don't even need to roast them. I don't.
I was going to give Jake the 4, but if Jake's not going to take the bait, then
I can just say this: where would the Commanders' best player on their entire team slot in on the Eagles depth chart?
probably wide receiver 3. What's his name?
Yeah, you got the people on the offensive line, the guy who just signed a big extension. I don't know if his name's Cosme. Drawing a blank on that.
You still have Jonathan Allen?
Yeah, Jonathan Allen's still there.
He'd probably start along.
I mean, Bobby Wagner will probably start. He will probably be the best Eagles linebacker they've had since, like, I don't know, D'Amico and Cushing and all that.
They signed Devin White.
Bobby Wagner's better than Devin White.
I don't know about that.
He wanted $20 million and got $7 million. So, like,
we were saying before the show, it's a Birds thing because he excluded the Ravens and then excluded the Eagles. There's a clear
Birds in there though, so it's away. He's covered. He's got the Falcons in.
Yeah, other than the Falcons,
I should have put the Cardinals in there.
It would have substituted bird for bird.
Why the Commanders? And again, it has nothing. Like, I'm high on the Commanders. I just didn't have them making the playoffs.
I really think Jaden Daniels can bring it to the next level. I really like Jaden Daniels. I think he can bring it to the next level. I know we didn't see a lot of him in the preseason. I really think he can do it. I think he can do it. I mean, Zacchaeus, McLaurin. I really think Brian Robinson can, pull out 1,000-yard season this year. He's not going to have to worry about, Austin Eckler taking reps because Eckler doesn't really want 300 carries. He wants, 100, and he's already come out and said that. And I think Brian Robinson could be the big back for the Commanders. Also pretty high on Ben Sinnott. And then, their defense can't be any worse than what it was last year. I like St. Jude. I like Sandstrill from Michigan. I think the tides can turn for Washington. I really do.
Couldn't be any worse. The Eagles defense from last year.
When was the last time a rookie quarterback won a division? Was that Baker?
No, Baker didn't win it.
Not Stroud, obviously.
I always forget that Wentz's big year was his second.
RG3 was a rookie when they won.
There's no way that was the last time a rookie won a division, is it?
Well, I mean, you got to say Stroud.
Before Stroud.
I don't even know. I don't even know who else as a rookie won their division as a rookie.
It's definitely a rare thing. I
mean, we've seen a lot of first-year head coach. Well, I mean, Dan Quinn's not a first-year head coach, but, first-year guys, they could just go in, fill in, and do all that stuff.
I think it's weird. I respect it, but I think it's weird.
Alex on TikTok who said Zach Ertz top 10 tight end if he's the tight end 1 in Washington, which he already is. Then he also said Tony Pollard will finish as a top 10 running back.
Okay. I mean, I respect it, but I don't know about that one.
All right, we're going to move back to Jake's after the technical difficulty was cured by IT Dom over here. So we're going to...
What happened? My two windows merged. The audios and videos merged. Like, I've never had that happen before. That was new, so whatever. I don't know.
All right, Jake.
Yeah.
It would have been nice if I just was able to follow Colton because a lot of mine can piggyback. But
so here we go. We're going to pull this up here, starting with the AFC.
Wow, what an old picture. I
don't get anything updated. I mean, you're going to see Dom's picture. And you're going to be like, okay.
So a lot of it has a similar, like Josh in the chat. lot of it has a similar, logic behind it that Colton did. Like, I really think that Burrow coming back healthy, when he's there, the division runs through him, I think. And especially with the taking their supposed last run at it. The only real thing is I think the Jets can actually hold together enough to make a wild card spot at the same kind of thing of the Dolphins. They have a favorable schedule this year. They don't really have to do that many cold games. As long as they don't get all hurt. Same with the Jets. Like, I think both of them make it. I'm for the same reasons that I don't have the Bills is why Colton dropped into a wild card. I think it's too severe. Dropped them all the way out. But people forget, like, the Jaguars last year were in a playoff spot and they choked it. And that's why, what was it? The Texans and the Steelers got in. It was between 4 teams in the last day. Mm-hmm. And it's only because they, blew a gasket at the end of the year. I think they could hold on and make it. I mean, who else is really there? The Colts, I labored with making it over them this year. And possibly the Chargers. I wouldn't be surprised. That would not shock me if they snuck in there. But
Colton Steelers.
No.
I was thinking, I was like, man, the Titans can also be one if Will Levis could play as a competent quarterback.
Top 10 running back could do it.
It's not that much different than Colton's. And a lot of the same, logic. The Chiefs is the Chiefs. The Texans are incredibly scary. And Bills have fallen off. I think Dolphins and Jets are in the same boat, hold together and make it. And Ravens also lost a lot, but are still good enough to make it.
Only thing I have to hate on with this, and I will not take the Steelers slander, Jake. Sorry to tell you, they're just there. They're always there. Sorry to tell you, even with mediocre Kenny Pickett. Anyway, Jaguars. Last time I checked, you're on the hate wagon like me with Trevor Lawrence. How the hell did these idiots make the playoffs?
Because I don't trust a rookie quarterback that's played 2 games, really. Not even. Is it Richardson's played a total of a game between the 3 games he played? And I think the Titans stink.
Okay, what about the rest of the AFC? It's the best conference.
I think this is the year that Tomlin.
How these idiots make it in?
I think this is the year Tomlin absolutely loses it and he gets fired.
I'm not even saying this. I'm not even just saying the Steelers in there. I'm not even like, why don't
teams?
Sorry, I'd rather put Buffalo in there. I'd rather put the Browns in there.
I do think.
Last time I checked, we agreed that Trevor Lawrence is the most overrated quarterback in football, and he lost weapons.
At the most overrated quarterback in football still was in the playoff race until the very last day of the season.
You said earlier, Colton, that the AFC conference is like the strongest conference, and I will say, doing these picks and stuff, I felt like there's a substantial drop off in the AFC where it's just like. Yeah, you have like 5.
And also, like, Browns are going to get beat up between the Ravens, the Bengals, and they always struggle with the Steelers. Like, I'm going through the bubble of what teams you would want, but I have a rationale for all of them.
No. It's trust me, I get it. Like, the South sucks. Like, I'm not absolutely slaughtering here. I thought we both agreed Trevor Lawrence sucks nuts. He's the most overrated.
He does.
So, like, and the fact that they lost Calvin Ridley, I never loved Gabe Davis in Buffalo. So that's my again. I'm just shocked to see the Jags in there. That's my only flack. And again, like, they might be the 7th team in. So like, whoa. But like, I'm just surprised you have the Jags in. That's all. Don't get mad at me.
No, I'm not.
Jake. That's just like, okay, the Jags are in there. I thought this guy was on the wagon with me that Trevor Lawrence is overrated as shit. So I just wanted to check.
Oh, this is you know what this is, Colton? This is my excuse to be mad. Because if he lets me down, this is it. I'm done. That's the.
All right.
You might want to sit down for this one.
I said there's gonna be a lot of finger pointing because there's no way we do predictions. I mean, it's just impossible because it happens every year. There's no way we do a full amount of predictions, awards, divisions, everything. Where like you don't at some point contradict something else you've said at some point. Like it is impossible. So it is just funny. But continue.
Oh, Whoa, that's shots fired, Dom. Jeez, he's right
What?
next to you. Jeez, you don't have to say it like that.
No, I'm saying all the way around, all of us.
Wow. Well,
That-
I stick
Dolphins,
I
by
stick true to myself, man.
Yeah.
I think Trevor Lawrence blows nuts, and I will stand on that hill and will not put those idiots into this at all. I will not have them sniffing the playoffs. This is what I've said it last year. What CJ Stroud was, or what Trevor Lawrence was supposed to be, is what CJ Stroud was last year. I haven't seen a freaking lick of it from Trevor Lawrence, and he still somehow got a boatload of money. Wrong.
For
Houston
me,
won the
it's like
division.
you picking the
That division
Dolphins.
still sucks nuts, and Trevor Lawrence sucks balls and is overpaid, just like Daniel Jones.
Yeah, but even that blind squirrel found a nut and made the playoffs one year.
Because the AFC South sucks. Now you have Indy, who doesn't suck, and you have the
Well, we don't know if they don't suck.
what's that?
We don't know if Indy.
Indy
We know
almost made him
Indy-
with Gardner freaking Minshew last year, and Anthony Richardson actually looked good until he got hurt. Exactly. They almost won with
Point is he
Gardner
doesn't
Minshew.
play games.
They almost won it with Gardner Minshew. Stop! They almost made it with Gardner Minshew. Stop it.
And now where is Minshew? He's not there to back him up.
He's in Vegas, and Anthony Richardson, I think, is going to learn. I can't run like it's college. I'm going to die if I run like that. So I think they got that memo through him. You'll see. You'll see. You're going to be mad week 5 or 6. Like, damn it, Trevor Lawrence sucks. And you're like, you're going to come back. It's all right. I don't mean to jump in and intervene, but I thought Jake was with me on this. That Trevor Lawrence sucks. I just had to call him out because I thought we were aligned with this. And there he is. I see the Jacksonville stupid logo, and every time I see it, I just see Trevor Lawrence's dumb face there, say, I got paid. So I had to call out my guy here. I had to call him out. I thought we were the same on this one.
Jake just thinks that Mac Jones is really going to do it, is what it comes down to.
I
Yep.
mean, is he even quarterback too? I mean, I think CJ Beathard might be there.
I don't know.
All right, let's move on.
I jumped in there. There we go. So there you go, Jake. The NFC.
Or your slander earlier and just go with what's right.
The Falcons as the 1 seed. I didn't even go that far. But
Absolutely. So the reverse, absolute opposite of saying the NFC East is going to be the worst division in football. The AFC South exists, and so does the NFC South.
Josh, that's kind of funny. Throw that up there. I like that. No Giants. Okay, fine.
My only pause, the thought was really after these teams does drop off. Well, after the Cowboys, which depending on what they are, it drops off hard. So it's whether you think Caleb Williams and the Bears are loaded enough to, despite terrible coaching, and so you still got to deal with Matt Eberflus there as the coach, who even Brandon Staley was able to screw up Herbert. And with Washington, the problem is that offensive line's bad. And Jaden Daniels has a history of going reckless and getting absolutely murdered. Same as Anthony Richardson the first couple games. But I don't really have much to say about this. It's a lot of it's kind of chalk. I mean, you guys can agree, disagree.
go Pack, go.
I mean, like, I'm pretty fine with this. I feel like this is I actually, to be honest, I'm gonna say this now because I looked. We all have Niners, we all have Falcons, we all have Lions in those spots right there. So the NFC division winners is pretty consensus, like pretty, unanimous for us. So it was pretty valid.
I think we all have the Cowboys. No, except for Will, because he just thinks nobody besides in the NFC East besides Washington's making the playoffs.
All right, I'll shift over here. All right, Dom.
Yes, sir.
Here you go. Here is your AFC prediction picks.
Yeah, that picture is a year old. That picture was like 65 pounds ago. So thanks for that. We got So different than you guys, I'm the only one that chose Ravens to win the division. Well, didn't choose them for playoffs at all, but whatever. I think the Ravens just do that. I mean, it's just like it's the AFC North, whatever. It's Bengals or Ravens. I chose Ravens. Just is what it is at that point. I got Jets. We'll have Jets. I just think if Aaron Rodgers is healthy the whole year, I think they do enough in the AFC East, which is pretty weak now. I feel like we can all agree the Bills took that substantial drop-off step back. The Patriots are like a bottom 3 team in the league potentially. We all know I don't like the Dolphins that much, so just yeah. Texans, I have them being like potentially the best team in the league. They're scary. I think Colton said the same pretty much. Chiefs, okay. Then I don't have the Bengals winning, so naturally they become wild card. I chose Chargers. I don't know. I think they might do enough. I mean, it's Jim Harbaugh. The team's solid. The defense. I mean, I don't know. Like Colton said, who's Herbert throwing to? I mean, you're right. But if Herbert just does enough, which he has the best stats in that class of Jalen Hurts, of Burrow, of Tua. So, like, that was with a substantially worse head coach than the rest of those guys. So, I mean, the weak part is the receiving, and he's a good quarterback. It is what it is. I think that defense is still good. Khalil Mack. I think they have pass rushers. I think they have some playmakers on the secondary. So I think they could do enough to make playoffs. And the Colts, the AFC South is just kind of like a crapshoot. So I don't know. If the Colts are healthy, I kind of like them. I like their receivers. Their defense is decently solid. They have some leaders on the team. If Richardson is healthy, I think he could do a lot this season, especially for fantasy managers. That could be a gigantic pick for them if he's healthy all year. So, I mean, that's it for my AFC South. Or AFC whole entire thing.
Dom listened to that one Colts song one time and was like, yes, I'm sold. Inject this into my
I
veins.
actually have them as I have a Madden franchise of them, and every time I'm playing my game, I just play that on repeat the whole time. So, that's how it goes. That's why I didn't make the playoffs. That's why I didn't make the playoffs year one in Madden.
And got fired.
I got fired with a winning record. It was bullshit. With a rookie of the year and this other, whatever. Madden. But I, take the floor.
I don't have anything. I really don't.
My
I
whole
can
thing is,
get
I'm
down
just
behind
shocked at the
all of it.
Chargers from a few of you guys. Trust me, I like Herbert and go blue all day with Harbaugh. I just don't think they're good enough, especially with Kansas City in that division. So I just think the AFC's got a ton of teams. I mean, again, I joke about the Jaguars. The Jaguars are probably going to be over 500. The Browns are going to be over 500. The Steelers are always over 500. Like, I just don't see the Chargers getting in this year. I don't love the receiving core. That scares the living piss out of me. The running backs, I don't know what I'm getting from J.K. Dobbins or Gus Edwards. I just think it's a lot to ask. And Herbert's already going into the season banged up. So I don't love that. Again, I think they're going to be competitive. I think next year is the big leap for the Chargers. So that's why I'm shocked everyone's got – not everyone. I'm shocked a few of you got the Chargers in.
That's yeah. I mean, that's valid. I spent the most time talking about them because obviously they're you got to validate that because that's not the most, sensical pick. But
yeah, I thought about it, but for those a lot of those reasons why 8-9 wins might get it done for those bottom 2 spots in the AFC.
Yeah.
And it's all about, do you think that they can get there? And I think they might just be a little short, but I think they're going to really surprise people.
Like I said, I think they have the defense to stay relevant as far as that side of the ball. And as long as with Jim Harbaugh, who's, has a solid rapport as a coach, and has never gone under 500 as an NFL head coach, right, Will?
Nope. Lowest was 8-8.
Yeah. So, I think they could do enough to squeak on in,
Easily the best quarterback he's ever had since Luck in college.
Yeah, that might be true. Alex Smith, but
I was gonna say Kaepernick. I mean, Kaepernick those first 2 years, he was pretty,
Well, I would say Herbert's a better over.
Oh yeah, Herbert's obviously the best he's had, especially.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, super small sample size from the NFL, but
That's
I
true.
mean, obviously, the low hanging fruit's like, hey, here you go. All right, Dom, let's move over here. Let's go to your National Football Conference picks.
Okay. What do I have? I have Lions. Like I said, we all have Lions. We all have Falcons. We all have Niners. Same spots. Whatever. 3 of us have Eagles in that same spot, and then Will just has the Commanders. So it's the same as the Eagles for 3 of us. So that's those actual division winners. Not a big deal. Packers. We all have Packers in the same spot, actually, or just wild card. So okay. Rams is homer pick. Like everything.
Right, by the way. He's totally right. You two ass clowns both have the Rams in. And Will's dumbass had the Commanders in, and I think the Rams.
Commanders?
Yes.
Nobody said that.
You
We're
guys
not
are absolute
anymore.
The thing behind him is still there.
I know. You guys are absolute homers. It's wild.
That's
You got
actually.
the Rams hats, why don't you? And you put your jerseys on, you two. God almighty. You guys
I don't
are-
feel like
you guys are
getting up
absolute
and walking
homers.
to the other side of the room, which is a whole 2.5 feet to get my jersey.
That's exactly how I feel. My Rams hat are right there.
You guys are both ass clowns and homers. I don't want to hear the Steelers being homers. You guys aren't even Rams fans, yet the Rams are in there. Will's a freaking Commanders.
Rams are
fan. Oh,
good.
speak
Like,
to
I don't
go. Yes,
understand.
the Commanders winning division. This
And
is
the
not-
Jets aren't good?
You guys should be putting time out for a whole week. This is anarchy. Right?
All right, so I never want to hear you get excited about the Jets this season once.
He's a Rams
You just
fan.
said the Rams are good and haven't even shown that much passion about the Jets.
Well, he's a Jets fan. He knows.
No,
it
he's a
doesn't go well.
self-deprecating Jets fan. He's just like, oh, the Jets stink.
That's every Jets fan.
I know, but he at least the one chance he
I'm
has
trying to get through this thing. I'm not trying to hold up on it.
the one chance he has to get excited, and he's all about the Rams and Commanders.
All right, I'm gonna-
Tony fans, I gotta tell you.
So I mean, I do have the Rams because of the offense. I mean, you have these 2 guys that blew up the scene last year. Now they're going into their 2nd year. I could only think it might.
Byron's in his 3rd year. Can you please just
Oh,
drill
like-
it into your goddamn head,
They're like-
please?
Legitimate NFL player, all right?
He's a real Rams fan because they don't fucking exist, and he's like, "Oh, hey, Kyron's in his 2nd year." Ooh,
See, look how mad the Rams fans are getting right now. He's getting very defensive.
Yeah,
I don't think he's gotten this defensive about the Jets. Oh,
no, because
well,
he's gonna bring up Kyron Williams 5 times. He's gonna be like, "Yeah, he's only in his 2nd year." Like, look, the
He's
sky's
gonna
the
say-
limit
he
for
is
him. I'm
gonna
gonna
say
have to hear
multiple
that. I'm
times.
like, no, it's
Poor
his 3rd
Dom.
year.
Poor Dom's got a Rams jersey too. Oh, poor.
No,
fellow.
then he was all upset how Kyron Williams didn't win Rookie of the Year. Yeah, because he wasn't a rookie. That's why he didn't freaking win it.
Poor Dom
God
didn't even get the
damn.
call really by the end of
I
the season.
made one mistake one time, and it's just I will never live it down. Whatever. Cowboys because they barely make it because that's just whatever. So it's
Threw Dom off. Dom's all flustered. He's done. His Rams done.
no. There's really nothing to justify. The 2 other than Will's Commanders pick, the 2 bottom wild card teams are the only differences that we all have really in the NFC. So those are the only 2 that we're justifying. So
But the
whatever.
more you look at this, the more it's homer picks. It's wild. Jake's totally right. Will got more excited about the Commanders and the Rams than he did the Jets. It's incredible.
I could feel like a Jets fan. It's 15
At
years.
least hide your little stupid thingamabobber you got behind you.
That
God
was a
almighty.
good $35 I spent on that thing. Okay, and I got to attend the COVID playoff game, so I'm not going to hear any of this.
Exactly. Commanders fan, aka Commanders fan. Got it. Thanks, Will.
All right. Well, let's Oh yeah. So I forgot this was next. I thought it was something else. But yes, the season recap for the Madden, the greatest simulation. The Ravens win the Super Bowl, so the power of 12s. The power of 12s, okay? So every 12 years, apparently, the Ravens make it to the Super Bowl. They win the Super Bowl, so this is 12 years since their last one. Of course, it's in New Orleans, so the Ravens win. Justin Madubike, who changed his name to his Nigerian-born name, so he won Super Bowl MVP. Not sure how, but yes, Lamar, MVP, offensive player. John Harbaugh, coach of the year. Max Crosby, your defensive player of the year. Caleb Williams is your Roy, and then Dallas Turner is your D-Roy.
Bro, Jordan Love got sacked 15 times in this game by that one guy because that's just insane, dude. left end winning a Super Bowl. That's just like.
I'll text you guys the stats of the Super Bowl because I don't advance anything further than the Super Bowl. I just kind of like delete the league after a while.
I need to know what this guy did to win an MVP, bro. That's the most insane thing ever. That's crazy.
Well, Matt Abike's edge rusher, sort of. I think he had a lot. He had what? He had over
It's
10
like
sacks last year.
11 sacks, yeah.
Yeah, he had that many in just this one game, apparently, because there's no way. Like, what?
It's Madden. He probably had
he
two
had
sacks and a fumble, and that was
7
it.
fumble recoveries. That's nuts. That's crazy, bro.
I just received word that Justin Madubuike got Dom fired again in this franchise. So there it goes. Alrighty. So now we go into here. Let me do. Here we go. So this is how we're going to talk about our picks right over our faces. So at least it's all updated.
I don't
tried
feel
this out
because it's 7 times larger than I am now. So
If you ever wanted to feel fat again, Dom, there you go.
yeah, I do now.
So now we're going to go into our award predictions here. So we're going to start from the bottom of this list. So we're going to go comeback player of the year. We're going to go all the way around and figure this out. Dom's just pushed enter a bunch of times in this document and stretched out.
It
was like 10 minutes ago.
It was like really did that. Sorry, Will. I didn't think you were using it, or else I would have corrected it. I was in the middle of talking when it happened too, so I didn't even couldn't even focus.
All right, so we're going to start with the coach of the year, then we're going to go through. Colton could get a comeback player, Dom, D-Roy, Jake, O-Roy. Then Jake could go for Depoy, Opoy, and then
snake draft. We're doing a snake draft.
We're going to snake draft it. Okay, so for coach of the year, all right, coach of the year, we're going to pick Charger Ball. I don't know, Jim, but we're going to go Jim Harbaugh here. Makes the playoffs. I have him in there as the playoffs, so only makes sense that he makes it. And so Charger Ball, coach of the year. Colton, where are you going with this one?
Oh, sorry, I forgot I had myself muted here. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Harbaugh, even though I should change it since I love the Texans so much and go D'Amico Ryans. But yeah, I'm gonna go Harbaugh because that's what I have written here. Go Blue.
Dom.
I am actually gonna go with D'Amico Ryans because I think I said it earlier. I think the Texans could be the best team in this league this year. And I'm all about it. I think he's brought this team from nothing to very much something. So, yeah, I'm going to D'Amico Ryans. And I kind of didn't want to be, sweep across that too. So,
well, I think I wrote it first, and I'm now reconsidering it because it's usually the logic doesn't make sense because I don't have them making the playoffs. But I do have
that was the funny part of it.
I do have Jim Harbaugh. I just think that it's a brand name that if they do well, probably gonna be in the running.
All right, Colton.
What's the next one?
Wait, what are we doing?
Comeback player of the year. So Colton just announced the award, and then we'll go back through.
Yeah, it's gonna be Aaron Rodgers. I think the American flag man, even though Josh in the comments is going to get really bad karma for the Giants, in case he's wondering, for his comments there. I'm not going to do it to him for the people not seeing it. But Aaron Rodgers comes out with the American flag again and actually stays healthy the whole season. Aaron Rodgers.
Me or you, Will?
There you go.
I'm going to go with good old Kirko. I think he'll, I don't know. Maybe he'll just, I didn't want to go Rodgers. So I'm just going to say Kirk. I think he's, he actually played a little bit last year. And now he's in a great situation. So I don't think he fails. I think he does well enough to just beat Aaron Rodgers out for it. And yeah, that's my move.
See, you missed the obvious one.
Yeah.
Besides the, two snaps of Rodgers season, the guy who might be coming back with a vengeance all the way through with Joe Burrow. He wants to remind people that they forgot about him in that division with the Browns and their wonder story last year.
And you guys all picked Bengals to win that division too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got my one homer pick here, Aaron Rodgers, as my only award pick for a Jets. So, yep, Ron. Really hoping for the entire season. So, please, I want to make sure that works. I mean, I was really close to picking like Sam Darnold or whatever as comeback player of the year because who knows what the award is anymore. But I don't know. Geno Smith, he kind of had a down year. Bryce Young, maybe. Who knows? You never know who could go with the award.
I'm still saying I was right with Tua.
Well, there's a difference between comeback player and most improved player, and for some reason, it just is kind of like a gray area, or I guess, or whatever. They should just split that into 2 awards and call it a day. But whatever.
I don't believe Damar Hamlin even won, did he?
No, he was second to Joe Flacco.
That's crazy. That's actually kind of wild. Wow.
All right, Dom, you're up here.
What are we on? Defensive rookie, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I decided to go in a different direction. I chose Latu because I don't know.
Can you say his full name for us?
No. I like that pick. I didn't want to go. True story. The Vikings with Dallas Turner. The Vikings have never had a defensive rookie of the year. They've never produced one. Not that really matters, but I was like, you know what? Interesting stat. Whatever. So I went Latu.
Yeah. I didn't want to double ones up. I really wanted Dallas Turner, but Will took it, and I got late. I went late on this one. I had left it blank. But I'm happy with what was left to me, and Jared Verse. I considered Latu. I considered Murphy, but I think Verse has the insulation around him and the scheming to put up some big sack numbers.
I stole Jake's pick with Dallas Turner, and I was trying to change it Tuesday morning because I didn't see what you wrote down. I was like, oh, I kind of really feeling Jared Verse. I wanted to flip flop it, but I'll be confident in Dallas Turner. I think Brian Flores could get a lot of stuff out of him, especially with how the Vikings defense is trying to come back from being just total ass last year. So I'm picking Dallas Turner to sack the quarterback. 8-10 times. Yeah.
And for
Colin has to go.
Oh, true.
It's all right. No one cares. That's all right, Jake. I got it, dude.
Well,
Chop Robinson, your Penn State guy, Chop Robinson. I think he's going to have a solid season, especially could take advantage of those snaps early with Bradley Chubb on the injured list there. I think he could take full advantage of his snaps. I think he's one of the more underrated edge rushers in this draft.
We got one person in the comments asking if they should start Jerome Ford or Ramondre Stevenson. I think the low-hanging fruit is Ramondre.
I think so, especially in a game where it's like, all right, not too excited about the Patriots offense. Everything else kind of is shaky, but the one constant is Ramondre Stevenson on that team, and I think actually a lot of people like him this year. I don't think he'll be bad. He's a starting running back in this league, so I think that is a good pick. Technically Jerome Ford is too this week, but I don't know. I like the matchup more, personally. Stevenson for me. But
all right, Jake.
All right. This one was because I didn't want it to be a sweep, and I could also see it happening. And I picked Jaden Daniels as my rookie of the year, offensive rookie of the year.
Will not picking that is insane. Can we just say that?
Yeah, I thought Will would be the. Well, yeah. Oh, hold on.
I mean, the pick that
All right, listen. You had them as the division winner, and don't have him winning rookie of the year.
Well, Caleb could still make the playoffs. I mean, I think the Lions could still be a 12-13 win team, and the playoffs still got to go through the Motor City. So I'm not saying that as like, oh, hey, Jaden's not going to be good enough, but it's I mean, Caleb's going to be this next Andrew Luck and John Elway. He already has that title on him, so I'm going to just, fall into it and just, keep it as that.
Yeah, my criticisms of Caleb Williams have been well documented. So I'm not mad at all taking Jaden Daniels. I think he's more talented to begin with.
Colton?
Yeah, I'm going Caleb Williams. I mean, once we get to later on here, I am deeply in love with this Bears team for some reason. I was in love with them last season. I am doubling up on it, and I'm backing him again this season, and I think they have all the tools for him to be really successful. So Give me Caleb Williams.
I will follow suit on the Caleb Williams train. I mean, I know we like to be different, but I'm like, I think that's just way too of an obvious pick not to pick. So
It's the weapons.
yeah, the offense is really good.
That was weird. For me, it's the weapons. Like that's the difference between Jaden Daniels and the Caleb situation for me. I just couldn't. I wanted to go different than Caleb, but then it's just for me, it's just the receiving core. That's all.
All right, let's sneak back through. So Jake, you're on the next award here.
No, I'm not.
No, it's Snake. So you are.
Yeah.
I thought I did the other two start.
Now we're sneaking through.
What offensive rookie?
Did that.
Defensive player.
Defensive player. Sorry.
All right. This is my. I'll explain. I have Micah Parsons. Not a homer pick. I think he's always put up the big numbers, and in a contract year, Cowboys stars always do what they're supposed to do, and I'm done taking TJ Watt. I'm done. I can't do it anymore. I can't get burned. I can't get burned anymore. I pick him every year, and he has a better season, and they pick the other guy. So,
I went with Danielle Hunter. To be honest, I thought about this one. I put like 4 different guys. I put Watt as one of them as well, and then I thought more and more. I was like, you know what? Danielle Hunter had 2.5 less sacks than Watt last year, so that gap's not that big. He's in a great situation on the Texans now. I think D'Amico's going to use him. I mean, he had a great year last year. You know, I think he could eat in that division a little bit. So I'm going to go with Danielle Hunter. I think that's a little bit of a different take. But screw it. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, I'm going low-hanging fruit. I'm going with the best defensive player in football and Mr. TJ Watt. Just like Jake, he's probably not going to get it because the league just likes, you know what? He's only won it once, but we think he's won it 5 times. Let's give it to the next guy. So I'm sticking with my guns. He's still the best edge rusher in the game. And, yeah, I'm sticking with TJ Watt.
I did have Danielle Hunter written down, and then I changed it at the last second. Before Dom, decided at 3:30 in the afternoon on Tuesday to fill out the picks after grilling me. Oh my God, he's yelling at me about filling out these picks. I changed it to Max Crosby. I mean, 17 sacks last year, and he had a knee injury starting from week 2 on. I mean, imagine if he's healthy, man. That could be a 20-sack guy. I think, he's going to be one of Antonio Pierce's dogs, and he's going to, wrap up the quarterback so many times. So, Max Crosby is my pick as a defensive player of the year. All right, John, you're up next.
Okay. This would be offensive player of the year. Oh, this was a different take. I went with Garrett Wilson. I think with Rodgers, if he's healthy, I think Garrett Wilson is a great receiver, and I feel like we really haven't even seen it yet. So I'm going to go with a guy like Rodgers thrown to him. I mean, you could see production upwards of like what we saw from D-Hop with Kyler, I would think, a couple years ago, where it's like he's getting 10 targets a game, maybe. I mean, he can totally have a year like Tyreek or the other one that put up 7 to Lamb. Thank you. So I could see that happening. Jeez. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, it's Run CMC. Best running back in football. If he's healthy, he's going to put up disgusting numbers again in San Francisco. So, yeah, very easy for me. Run CMC.
I went with Bijan Robinson. I like all the reports that they just are finding packages to use Bijan in, and I'm so ready to get let down again. But I'm really going to pick him as offensive player, thinking they know what to do with him this year. So I'm picking Bijan Robinson.
Hey, Arthur Smith's gone. They might actually use the good players. This was going to be my homer pick if I was going to do one, and I just can't take my own guys for awards. I just can't do it. I was going to pick Saquon, but I'm going to go with Tyreek Hill. I think he's that offense is going to have him have monster season after monster season. It's just they scheme them up too well.
All right, Colin, here you go. The last round of picks here.
All right. Well, I'm going to do the bold one, the one that no one's seeing coming, and that would be Caleb Williams. I think he's got way too much around him I think we're finally going to see we're finally going to hit on the predictions of like the godchild of quarterbacks, what they should be coming out, because it was Trevor Lawrence, sucked. Andrew Luck, I think this is a guy, just the way he throws the ball, the way he can move in the pocket, the weapons around him. Like, he looks left. Oh, wait, there's Keenan Allen. Looks right. Oh, shoot, there's Roman Dunze. Oh, look, there's DJ Moore. Oh, shoot, there's Cole Kmet. Like, I just think there's way too much around him. I just think he's going to be great. And you have DeAndre Swift they picked up, who I thought was pretty good for Philly last season. I just think it's Caleb Williams. I'm living and dying on the hill with the Bears, and I'm running through it, man. And I'm getting bold. I'm getting bold in this little prediction here. Give me Caleb Williams.
So for the most valuable player, I am picking Patrick Mahomes. I mean, hey, he has a receiving core this year, and I just got to say good luck to the league. I think he could probably match his very first year starting, 16 games. I think he could easily toss 50 touchdowns with these targets he has. Honestly, have fun covering everyone in this offense. Really do. Hey, good thing the Jets don't play them in the regular season, so that's a big thumbs up.
So I basically went the 1B of that conversation in the old Manning Brady, Mahomes Burrow. I have Burrow winning MVP, so therefore he was going to be a comeback player. Similar reasons, like you got Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. You saw what he did when the team wasn't even that good. Led them all the way to the Super Bowl. I think they've figured out a lot of problems, and the defense is better than it was that year. I think the Bengals can be pretty scary, but they got a tough task with the Texans.
And that being said, I went with CJ Stroud, man. I think he goes from the year he had last year, which was just incredible, straight to the MVP. I mean, somehow they made his situation even just that much better. He can't throw to anyone that's not fantastic. The receiving core is just what it was last year was great and kind of deep, and it's even greater and kind of deeper this year. Dalton Schultz is pretty legit. I think he'll have a decent year. And then Joe Mixon is also great at receiving the ball as well. I just think, like, there's not a situation where CJ Stroud does not fail in this offense and on this team. And I think this team potentially, for me and my predictions, and it kind of all is right in line, I think they could be the best team in the league this year, and that kind of puts him in a better spot in that conversation as well. So yeah, that's where that is.
All right, we're going to return back here. We're going to talk about our Super Bowl picks here. I will go first since, finish out the snake draft, which, I don't know, that coincidentally just worked out on its own. I wasn't even planning on that, but all right, I'm going to full screen myself here because why not? So my Super Bowl pick for this year, it's the Battle of Green in New Orleans. It's going to be the Jets and the Packers, with the Jets ultimately coming out. Aaron Rodgers gets his revenge on Green Bay. He goes out as a champion, and who knows what he's going to do for the coming years. But Jets Packers Super Bowl. It's my pick. Let's see. I'll go Colton here. Let's see. Where are you? There you go.
Oh, hi. Here I am. Hi. Yeah, for me, I'm riding the two teams that I think are the best in football. Pretty easy here. I think that is the San Francisco 49ers, and that is C.J. Stroud and the Houston Texans. I just think what C.J. Stroud brings to the table and what Houston did in addition to. You bring in Stephon Diggs, one of the better receivers in football, and you bring in one of the more underrated edge rushers. As we what was it, Dom, that mentioned Danielle Hunter. He's been one of the best edge rushers in football. He's just been quiet because he's been in Minnesota, but if you look at his numbers compared to T.J. Watt, they are very darn close. Like, he's that good. And you team him up with Will Anderson, yeah, I just think that's disgusting on that defense, especially with DeMeco Ryan calling the shots out there. So, and then the Niners, they finally get Brandon Ayuk done. This is I think their final hoorah, and I think they get it done. I think they make the dance, and I think they win the whole thing. I just think Houston's just a step away. I think they kind of have to get their little lickings and face that defeat in the Super Bowl, and I think they're going to be back again the following season. But for now, it is the Niners and Houston.
All righty, Dom.
Okay.
First time?
I don't know. It echoed for me, but if it's not echoing for you guys, that's fine. I'm gonna go with I gotta bring it up. Jeez.
I can do it. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. There you go. Thank you. Yeah, I'll go with the Lions and the Texans. I don't know, man. I think both teams could do it. We wish the Lions did it last year. And again, it's right in line with what I've been saying. I think the Texans are going to be fantastic this year. I think CJ Stroud, I picked him for MVP. I think the receiving core is amazing. Everything Colton said as well. But I do have the Lions winning this matchup. I think they finally do it. I think this is icing on cake. Jared Goff, everything about it. I think this would just be like the dream. So that's what I'm going with.
Alrighty, and Jake.
All right. See, is it not echoing for you guys?
Nope.
All right. Well, let's go with it. So I have the same exact matchup as Colin, but unlike the last two, the better quarterback usually wins the game, and that's CJ Stroud. And the Texans do the thing where the young quarterback goes all the way and wins, so therefore they can actually go back. Unlike what Colton said, where the get there and then lose and go back, that doesn't really happen for whatever reason. And I think the Texans, they get their shot and they take full advantage of it.
Okay.
I like it.
Can you talk again really quick?
I like it.
Yeah, his mic is echoing.
Bro, I'm so confused.
You sound like robotic.
Yeah, your mic
Are
is.
you trying to tell me someone purchased a PS5 and a VR headset on my Walmart account?
I know what happened. We're good. We're good now. We're good.
He cured it. He cured it. Alrighty. First times all around. And this is the first time this season we get to bring up the picks. But why I should digress and I should bring up last year's, and we can honor Colton one last time being the picks champion, followed by Jake, who did not want to finish last, and he achieved that, finishing second, followed by me at third, and the man who choked away his lead on me, Dom, at fourth.
That fall is going to be talked about for a long time.
Bro, that was
They
so.
already have written it in the new history books and stuff in school. It's being studied right now.
Don't be dumb.
I'm happy with myself. I started so bad, the worst I'd ever started in one of these ever. And
Did we all hold the lead last year? I know I held one start of the season.
Yeah, maybe. And then I sat with Colton till week 8, and then it just nosedived for the rest of the season. And I went
week 10
tied for first.
Week 10 is when I locked in and just started.
Jake was like
Mambo Jumbo here as the champion. Championship. I got to tell you, boys, I got to see something better this year. We got to be better. Thank you. We do have a nice set of beards. We do have a good set of beards on this show.
That's actually so fantastic, especially because I know Jake didn't have the fullest of beards until his later years, and Will, his beard didn't even connect until 2 years ago.
Oh, and it's not connecting. Just the hairs are long enough here to where they do connect, so it just makes perfect sense.
Oh, that's fantastic.
There was no beard happening until COVID.
Yeah, what a compliment. Actually, what a compliment. That's so fantastic.
Alrighty, so we're gonna pull up this kind of screen here, and we get to talk about the first 16 games of the season. So football is back on Thursday Night Football as we have the Ravens and the Chiefs. I don't even have the picks up here. Let me just slide down here. Okay, here we go. Yeah, should I just say the Lone Wolf?
Yeah, let's
the
make
Lone Wolf
quick. This whole
is
segment.
Colton here picking the Ravens.
Yeah, I think Baltimore's still good enough. I got to see what Kansas City looks like this season, and they usually start out of the gate slow, is what we've kind of seen. They figure it out late and it's like, okay, yeah, Mahomes is Mahomes. I just think Baltimore has also, I think, gotten their number the last few times, now that I'm thinking about it. So, yeah, I'm taking the Ravens. I think Lamar has something to prove winning big games, and I think he gets it done Thursday night.
And the three of us are picking the Chiefs, so someone's going to start 1-0 and someone's going to start 0-1 to start the season. And Dom is praying that God is Colton. Now we're going to go to the Southern Hemisphere for a football game. I don't know if there's ever been a game played in the Southern Hemisphere, but if there is, hey, congrats. But if not, this is the first time here. The Packers at the Eagles in Sao Paulo, Brazil. We're split here. Dom and I are going go Pack go. We're going Cheeseheads here. Followed by Colton and Jake. They're going with the Birds.
Yeah, couldn't I? You know, I don't really pick against the Eagles unless it's like real bad situation. Not confident about it. Don't love it. Don't love it, Bob. Don't love this.
Yeah, I just think they're my division winners. I think they're good enough, and I do love Green Bay. I'm very excited for Friday's game. So
We're gonna learn a lot.
Yeah.
I'm glad the NFL is not stupid here. Let's have a full week one. Let's take over pretty much everything but college football. They're smart. I'll give it to those idiots. They know how to do their thing around here.
And they really looked down the weather, too. It's going to be 72 and sunny in Brazil. Meanwhile, if they play this game on Sunday, it was going to be 95. So it's pretty good going there. Now we get to go to the Sunday slate. Everyone's favorite time of the year. Get to be a couch potato for the next, 8 hours, 10 hours, however long you want to watch all the way through Sunday Night Football. If you want to watch the pre-show, add like another 4 or 5 hours to that. But the Carolina Panthers at the New Orleans Saints. We are sweeping the Saints here. No questions on that. Now we go to the Armpit of America, MetLife Stadium, a.k.a. the air conditioning unit, with the Vikings and the Giants. And Colton is lone wolfing the New York Giants here. Does Colton know something that we don't?
You caught me off guard with the Armpit of America. America there, Will. So, but no, I don't love Sam Darnold. I think the disappointment.
Horrible opinion already. I don't want to hear it anymore.
I think the folks in New York and New Jersey are going to get their one game of excitement from the Giants. I think they're going to come out. Their edge rushers are legit. Bringing in Brian Burns this all season. That front is the best that they've had in a very long time, and I think they're going to make a case week one. And Daniel Jones is going to tease some people, and that's going to be like, yes, they do suck. But week one gives their tease. I think they win the first game of the season, and then it goes downhill from there.
It's a home game for Sam Darnold.
Oh, yeah. He's going to have Seeing Ghost back.
Eight tutties. Here we go. I'm so excited.
Week one.
That's why I picked Justin Jefferson fantasy. Sam Darnold was going to do it. And then someone stole Sam Darnold from me and left Justin Herbert on the board. How does that even work? Yes, that was the last pick for Kyle, all the way at the bottom there, was Sam Darnold.
And Herbert was stayed. That's crazy.
Herbert stayed till round 20. All right, we're going to go from the Armpit of America to everyone's favorite state, Ohio, for the Patriots and the Bengals, and we have a clean sweep of the Bengals. I don't know if there's really much to talk about here, but other than the Bengals kind of getting their feet back under themselves, Burrow being healthy, who knows if Jamar's going to play.
Easy money.
Well, just silly questions.
Yeah.
Defense should be good, though.
Yeah, Jacoby Brissett should, put up a little bit of a fight, but...
We'll see how Gerard Mayo's Patriots do.
Yeah, this is the first look.
Now we're going to go to Mercedes-Benz Stadium. I believe I said that right, in Atlanta here for the Steelers and the Falcons. We have a clean sweep here of the Atlanta Falcons. Colton, you are not taking your Berg.
Colton.
That's crazy.
I might need to drug test you because you're picking the Falcons here. I don't know if you're sober enough to make these picks. So
hey, we always want the reverse jinx. I got to see what Pittsburgh looks like. I've died on the hill way too many times with Pittsburgh, so I'm gonna go with Atlanta with them being home. I think the game's great. I wouldn't be shocked if Pittsburgh wins, but I got to see them first. I got to see it on the field, the product, and then I'll go from there. So if I give you guys a game, that's fine by me. Don't mind.
Dom's praying it's like every game you just give him.
See, this was supposed to be the game we got one over on you.
I picked a few different ones. Whoa, I picked a few different ones. I picked the Giants for crying out loud. Come on. Who the hell's going to pick the Giants this year in a game? Come on.
That's my goal. I'm going to try picking at least every team once this year. So I'm going to try to make sure I achieve that.
With the Giants there.
Nah, Sam Darnold. I'm not going to go against my boy here. From Atlanta, we're going to go to Indianapolis, where the rematch of Week 18 here, the Texans and the Colts. And Dom, you are lone wolfing the Colts here.
I think this is the healthiest Colts that we get. This is the most motivated Colts we get. I just think that they're coming out with as much as they possibly can. I don't know. I think they just take the Texans by surprise. It's the first week of the season, so it's kind of everyone's adjustment game, and everyone's kind of getting their feet under him and stuff. So I think this is and it's going to be Richardson's most healthy game if it's going to be. So I'm going for it. I'm saying he comes out. He has a great game after what happened last year. Just kind of surprises us maybe. So, yeah, I don't think it foreshadows anything for the rest of the year. I'm just saying this is a one-off game, first game of the season. If something crazy is going to happen, it's going to be this at this point in time.
So Dom.
So you're locking in the Colts. You're locking them in.
No, I said the exact opposite.
No, you're locking them in for this game.
Oh, yeah, for this game.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I'm lobbing up Jake for this one.
Yeah. So
That's
we
fine.
tried to counsel you multiple times last year of talking yourself up on a team and then picking against them that very week.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I know what I was doing here. I knew
All
what
right,
I was
as
doing.
long as you know you're doing it again.
100%. I know what I've said this whole episode. I know how I feel about the Texans. I feel like this is going to be a close game, great game, high scoring maybe, but yeah. I know
that wasn't where I was going. I was going to say the Colts have not won a week 1 game since like 2013. They're 0-9-1 in week 1, so
great. That's so fantastic.
hey, you got a 5% chance there. So
I know they like
and
one.
Ryan tied. So
Yeah, cool.
all right, now we're gonna go to where the table stock is shorted here. There we go. Cardinals and Bills. We are picking the Bills. I don't really know if there's much else to talk about this game. So
Yeah, I do think the Cardinals could win this game.
They do.
But
They probably could.
they probably will, to be honest.
we'll
but-
see the Bills defense how it looks after their slew of cuts.
This is definitely like a former prejudice of last year and previous years kind of thing. We all kind of just was like, oh, Cardinals, no brainer. Bills, no brainer. And then it's just kind of like, maybe that's actually
I hope you know,
closer than
if
it
Bills
should be.
lose this game, the roast session next week I'm going to be giving to the Bills will be an hour long.
True story. ESPN has Josh Allen projected the most points out of anyone this week, and it's by like 5 whole points. So there's that for whatever that's worth. And that blows my mind a little bit, but sure. I think that's, again, previous prejudice kind of thing, like, oh, Josh Allen, tons of points. I don't know, man. That's crazy, but
So we'll go from we're gonna go from Buffalo here to Chicago, where we have a clean sweep of the Bears as they take on the Titans. I mean, a lot of new for both these teams, either head coaches, quarterbacks, defensive players, all that kind of stuff. So the Bears, we're going there. Then from Chicago, we're going to go to the hottest point in America here, the Miami Dolphins, where the Jaguars and the Dolphins take place. We are clean sweeping the Dolphins. I think it's just because, well, the sun, it's hot, and they're probably going to make the Jaguars wear their black uniforms and let them roast on that 100 million degree sideline of theirs.
Well, and again,
that's funny.
wasn't just agreeing. Lawrence sucks.
And then we're going to go from the most southern point to the northwestern point here, the Broncos and the Seahawks. No Russell Wilson. Bo Nix gets the first start, but we are sweeping the Seattle Seahawks here.
This isn't even the Seahawks winning. This is the Broncos losing. So that's, for me, that's just what it is.
For one has to happen, one other thing has to happen.
I think it's gonna be a big week for rookies. Bo Nix will not be one of them.
Big number on the spread. I still love Seattle. I think it's like 8.5, and I still love Seattle.
Nice.
And we're going to go from Northwestern to SoFi Stadium, where the Chargers and the Raiders take battle. Dom, you are lone wolfing the Raiders this week.
Yeah, I think this is the right. You got to think going into the season, going into game 1, this is the absolute most motivated the Raiders are going to be. They're going to come out firing. I mean, like, they're going to be psyched, I would think, because of Pierce and just everything here. I mean, like, this is just the energy of the team. And them losing and maybe not having a mediocre season at this moment is not beating them down at all. I think they're going into this with the vibes of last year, being happy with the head coach that was chosen. I think the Chargers still have yet to, some of them, like Ladd McConkey, they still have to, experience an NFL game legit. Those kinds of people don't usually just explode week 1 and hit their stride immediately. Usually it takes a couple games or so. So I think if it's going to happen, it's going to happen this game where the Raiders beat the Chargers this season. So,
well, I'm going to call it the BS when I see it. Somehow this guy had the Chargers in the playoffs, yet doesn't pick them against one of their weaker opponents on the season.
hey, if you were going to say something like this,
Very confusing.
it's a 9-8 Chargers that make that playoffs. I mean, like
I think
Yeah.
remember by the schedule they kind of had to win this game.
we said that, but I think we said both teams need this win.
Well, I think we said
Yeah,
what we
this is a really important week 1 game for both
what
of
we
them.
did say is we're going to learn a lot about them.
Yes.
Right off the bat.
Up
Like I
going.
said, I just found it. I saw it on the sheet. And I'm like, oh, dumb. Doesn't make any sense. Has the Chargers in the playoffs, but doesn't have them beating one of their easier.
Hey, man,
on the
I
season.
know what I did. We're good.
All right. Okay. I just want to call it how I see it. All right.
Like I said, you can't do this whole show without having something contradict something else at some point in time. It's only week 1. So
Yeah. All right, so from Los Angeles, we go to Cleveland here. Tom Brady's first game commentating. The Cowboys and the Browns take place. Colton, you are lone wolfing this week. The dog pound.
Yeah, I just think Cleveland's being slept on a little bit. I think their defense is still very, very good. And none of us had them in the playoffs, including myself. I just think they're going to be very good still. And we'll see what Deshaun looks like. So, yeah, give me the Brownies.
All right, and then we go from here to, I don't know, another interesting matchup here. The Commanders at the Buccaneers. Dom, you are lone wolfing the Buccaneers this week.
yeah, bro. Rookie quarterback right away. First game. Baker was not bad last year. He still is throwing to the same targets. Mike Evans was not bad last year. It's just a team. It's just people that have been here versus people that haven't been here. A new situation versus not as new of a situation. I'm just going with the situation that occurred last year and has had a whole offseason together again and now rolling into this year. That's all it is.
And now we've been waiting all day for Sunday night, a rematch of one of the best playoff matchups from last year. We get it down in week 1, the Rams and the Lions. We are split here. The Rams fans are taking the Rams. Meanwhile, Jake and Colton are taking the Lions.
That's too funny. I said this to Jake before we went on the show. I chose the Rams because it's a regular season game. Detroit won in the playoffs. It's kind of just like for the Rams, this means more kind of thing. Like, that's really all this is.
Oh, Jake should have stayed true to his colors and just never get back for the rest of the episode.
I told you I picked this before we went on.
I'm not surprised that the 2 homers picked.
But it's so funny. I can't believe that. That's so funny.
I'm out.
I think the Rams get their revenge and they win the game here. So, yeah, that's what I'll go with. And also, Kelly Stafford's not going to be there, and it's every funny meme on Twitter is just, I'm going to go to the Stafford's house in LA and start booing their kids in the window. Walking right up, just boo.
What might be a truer Rams fan than me because I don't know anything about that.
I just get every sports meme possible, so it's just funny. And now we go to Monday Night Football here, where the New York Jets and the San Francisco 49ers battle out, and this rounds out week 1. Again, another split here. Dom and I take the Jets, and Colton and Jake take the Niners. Bang, bang, Niner gang.
This was before Williams got signed, too. I picked this at least before Williams got signed. But whatever. It's the most healthy Rodgers is going to be this season, so, whatever.
Oh, boy. He did it. Oh, he said the words. Oh, boy.
I didn't say he's going to get hurt. I'm saying he's going in.
Well, I mean, we all thought the same thing. Forcing Epson last year. So, Dom with the naughty there. Jeez Louise, that's a low blow. Poor Will. Poor Will doesn't even know how to act. He doesn't even know whether to be upset or happy because he's got.
I don't even know if I get 8
teams to
snaps
fall
this
back
year.
on, so he's all right.
Man, so I don't know why he's complaining.
I like
Two teams. I got 22 jerseys back here. I can pick whoever I want. I'll learn their history so fast.
I like the narrative that Will's just not a Jets fan.
He's not.
Hungary is not.
He's not.
Because the best part,
he's not. I'm gonna sneak into his household and I'm gonna take the Jets on. He's never gonna know it's gone.
I'm good. Oh, you're right.
You know what?
I got a
Go
big
to
Miller
LA.
Lite one over there. I got a
When I
big
go
Miller
for my
Lite one
yearly
over there.
visit to LA, let me go grab my LA Rams Miller Lite thing or Bud Light. Let's do it.
I think it's funny that, like, for Will's entire life, the Jets have been really mediocre, and like the chance has just like not been there. And this is the most chance that it is, and we're just like, you're not a fan.
That's my
I
point.
love that. It's so funny.
Why would he not be excited? And he's not, and like
Because
Here I was.
and he knows how it goes.
I know how it goes. Listen, if I show too much excitement, I'm gonna get disappointed. So I'm just prepared to be disappointed.
It's I don't remember that saying. It's like if you don't expect anything good, you won't get disappointed. Something like that. I don't know. That's Will.
Yep, it's gonna be 8 snaps, and I'm just gonna start bawling my eyes out. So
How many snaps was it last year?
4.
Oh yeah, so 8. 8's about right.
If it's really 8, I don't know what will happen. I might go like MIA for a little bit.
Floyd's there too.
Gonna go MIA. So
Stop. You'll just slide on your Jane Daniels jersey. Stop.
I
Slide on
I don't even
or
have
you'll
one.
slide on your Matt
Not
Stafford jersey.
anymore because you just will just flip flop to one of the other teams.
Yeah, you're fine. You're fine.
All right, so follow us, subscribe to us on YouTube for the Fan Network, TikTok, like us, follow us for the Fan Network, Twitter and/or X for the Fan _ and Instagram for the Fan Football. That is our prediction show. Yeah, more slander next week if Rodgers doesn't last out this game for me, and then yep. Trevor Lawrence shits the bed. Dom's gonna hype up a team just to de-hype them up in the picks, and then Colton's just here to, I don't know, point and laugh.
Yeah, call us out. There's some decent news this week we didn't even talk about.
Yeah, Trent Williams signed. Ricky Pearsall was shot. Yeah.
Complete fine.
Just
And-
casually drops at a man.
Casually, and you gotta say he completely fine. Walked to the ambulance.
Yeah, he walked to the ambulance. The guy that shot him tried to, unalive himself, and then
That's
all that
crazy.
stuff. But
Do wanna
he
lie.
needed help to the ambulance. Ricky Pearsall said, "No, I'm walking. I got this."
Out within like 24 hours too.
Yeah, he missed every Oregon. It just went right through him, and yeah, he's on the NFI list, so he's not playing the first 4 games. So
Damn. Wow. And then Rodgers said like
Dom just casually thought that this dude was going to get shot and just casually throw him the field week 1.
no, I didn't think that. I just didn't know it'd be like a whole 4-week guaranteed thing.
he'll come out to many men. So that's what will happen week 5. All right, but yes, I'm Will. That's Colton. That's Jake, and that's Dom. We are For the Fan. Tune in every Wednesday. Football content all the way through February consistently. So yes, everyone enjoy your time. Happy week 1, happy week 2 for those in college. Yeah, a lot of fun stuff ahead. So yep, we are out.
Yeah.
Yeah.